Hi Cancer, welcome to your October 2017 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here, and if you're looking for a love reading for October, look on my channel if you're not subscribed, because I've already posted one. And for personal readings, where I use, most of my personal readings, I use the natal chart, primarily for love readings or career readings. Career readings I just totally use, or life path readings, I just use your natal chart. Please click on the link below for that. And they'll take you to my website, which is rainandmoonastrology.com. I remember when I had a website that, was not a custom URL. And, when you have one of those, you can't say that. You can't say the name of your website because it's like .this, .that. And so it was nice when I got a custom URL. But you know what? If you want to start an online business and you don't want to spend any money, you can do it, and you can have an online store and have not have a custom URL, and it's free. So don't let that stop you. Okay. Oh, well, we'll see what these other cards are. Uh-oh, I hope it's not a Cancer or a Libra man. Why did I say, well, man, because of Knight. I'm not picking on men, believe me. I love men. It's funny that I've been getting that. I got those two cards, not in the same order, in the reading I just did for Capricorn. So that's your opposite sign. I don't know if any of you are dealing with a Capricorn, and maybe there's a Libra person involved. If there is, write it below, because sometimes I get these outlandish scenarios and they turn out to be accurate, at least for one person out there. And this is a general focus. Sometimes it'll seem like a love reading, because I always seem to drift off into love readings, but I don't intend to. I actually like for these general readings to be more about career, since I'm always doing the love readings. So, but sometimes it just comes out a certain way. That's not going to be even when it shows up on the screen. I'm going to pick a card. I forgot to do this for the last sign I did. I hope Capricorn doesn't take offense. But I'm going to pick a card from this Earth Magic deck, an Oracle card. Okay. I've been getting certain signs getting the same one, Dragonfly. Okay. So let me look at this for a second. Okay. In the past position, we have the Knight of Swords. This can be a player in your life. I mean, in the cast of the play of your life. And this would be a man, usually under 40. Could have fire. So this could be an Aries person who has also air, like Gemini or Libra, or vice versa. But I found out that knights are fiery for the most part. I don't know about Knight of Pentacles though, but whatever. And this person represents the legal profession, like a lawyer, but a very outspoken, blunt persona who, that is very passionate about their beliefs, sometimes very strident about their beliefs. And this person may have broken your heart. Although this is kind of unusual, because we have here Empress, and this card can relate to motherhood. So this could be you with somebody and then you find out you're pregnant after they have dumped you. My partner can't stand the word dump. He thinks it's such a harsh word, you know. They dumped you like you're trash or something. But if that happened to you, you might be like, okay, what do I do now? I'm pregnant. And your heart is broken because maybe you love this person. It could even be like seeing a lawyer about a divorce and then finding out that you're pregnant. It's like, oh my God, I just saw a lawyer and now we're I'm finding out I'm pregnant. For career matters, this would involve, I would say, this would involve something where perhaps you finally grew a backbone. Perhaps something was promised to you that did not come through, like a promotion is a big one, and you felt a sense of betrayal by your place of employment. And in some cases, it's interesting because you may have even started speaking out. That's what I'm saying about the Knight of Swords, is really getting a backbone. And Cancer people are, it's not that you're passive, but you're very sensitive and you don't necessarily want to step on other people's toes. And so you may go along with something and then finally have enough, and it might even be an ethical situation going on. And then to find out that that you are betrayed in some way, that that they don't have your back. And then the Empress card is talking about abundance, though. So I don't think that anybody is down and out over some situation. If this is a work situation, it may be more of an emotional disappointment. Getting back to any kind of romantic situation, you may be involved with a third party. There may be a third party involved. And I had mentioned in the other reading, and I should have brought up the third party. When you see a 3, it can be three people. The Empress can be a temptress. Now, it's funny that it's the mother archetype, the Earth Mother, but it can also be that feminine principle of the sensual woman. It's funny because we tend to separate the mother archetype, like the whore Madonna complex, where there's one, she's like the untouched, the mother, the virginal mother, and then the whore. So that's what's so strange about the Empress, because we could say that she's the whore and the mother at the same time. But in this case, it would be, I don't know, maybe that would be the reversed position more than the upright. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it is just about you. And you are the mother. The Cancer is the mother. Okay. And so perhaps, you could even say that the Empress, if you're not pregnant, it could be saying that you still have to be a mother, even if you're breaking up with a marriage or some other serious relationship. You still have that identity that you have to maintain. You have to think about your children, and your broken heart has to kind of take a back seat to that. Or maybe you are thinking that yourself. Okay, I'm hurting, but I'm going to be a mother. The higher message is the Nine of Cups. This is actually wish fulfillment. So, the only thing I can think of is, I can think of 2 things. First of all, let's say that you quit a job because you felt like you were betrayed by your place of employment. This is saying that you actually won the lottery, because now you can do something creative on your own and you're going to make a lot more money doing it. you know, that kind of thing, where I think there's some kind of saying like, it's kind of like when something bad happens and something amazing takes its place, and that you, or even like on an emotional level, spiritual level, you feel great. You feel like you got what you wanted. In personal relationships, let's say that somebody broke your heart and you found out you were pregnant. You may initially feel that sense of grief, but then you think, wow, I'm pregnant. I've always wanted to be pregnant. I've always wanted to be a mother. And so it's like it feels bad at first, and then ultimately it's like your greatest wish was fulfilled. It may not have come in the way that you wanted it, but it came either way. You know, sometimes we get what we want. It just doesn't come in the way that we want it. Your challenge is represented by the Six of Pentacles, and this can be material matters, dealing with fairness. For instance, leaving a marriage and deciding who gets what. So if you had a business together, you may have started the business, but I was there every step of the way, and I worked long hours for it, so I deserve half, or I deserve, you know, 1/3. With work matters, like if you have severance pay, things like that, I deserve to have this because you promised me that. The Knight of Swords can be a mediator that you go to at Human Resources in order to deal with some situation at work that was unfair, where you may have been treated in a way that you didn't deserve to be treated, deceived, or what have you. The advice, or what is coming in, is represented by the Seven of Swords, and this is the card of going it alone, in whether it's your business, your career, or your personal life. And it's also about, it's a card that represents deception, you know, showing that maybe you find out that somebody stole an idea of yours, and then that's why they got the promotion, because they took your work and presented it as their own. And maybe that comes out in mediation and you really clean up big time. But it can also be, and even in a marriage or whatever equivalent situation, you can prove that that person was unfaithful, and then you do very well for yourself. But this could also be advice about like leaving in a very clever way. So in other words, not burning bridges in a professional sense, because you don't want that person to blackball you all over town, even if you're saying, I'm going to do, you know what, I'm going to become a consultant and I'm going to compete against this company. And then they call everybody and say, don't do business with him or her because they're being vindictive. Not letting them know, you know, not showing your cards, not showing your hand, you know, having a poker face, and just going away into the sunset in a very stealthy manner so that you can start your, you know, a new chapter in your life without all this drama and everything, you know. And the outcome is the High Priestess. And it's interesting because for the other reading, I got the Queen of Cups, which I associate with Cancer. And that's kind of like the minor arcana version of this in a way. The intuitive person, the person who is being passive, isn't being like out in the world, is being more tuned into the self, the higher self. Waiting. Not necessarily acting. Maybe you have left a situation and now it's time to lay in wait for your next move. And while you're doing so, you're being still. You're not running your mouth and complaining about anything that has happened to you, but you're just kind of tuning into yourself and kind of seeing how you feel and seeing what you think happened in that situation and how you can learn from it and how you can benefit from it. You may have vivid dreams that help you, that guide you. And yeah, I mean, I think that for some of you, you had, well, not some of you, I mean, the sign of Cancer had that solar eclipse in the second house of earned income. So that can mean change, but it's change for the better. I mean, it can be a very expansive influence. And perhaps there has been a shakeup, but it's definitely not something to fear, because the Empress card is all about abundance, and it's also creativity. So if you've been, and I would say also the High Priestess right under it, creativity. Maybe that's your salvation, Cancer. And maybe that's where you need to go to start finding your alignment. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to talk about this oracle card that I picked, Dragonfly Emergence. This is from the Earth Magic deck. In this card, we see a nature goddess. The Empress, huh? Like the dragonfly emerging from the water, and your water. Her hair braided with vines dotted with flowers. She is surrounded by dragonflies and is one with the vibrant plant life thriving in the pond. The goddess emerges from her gestation in the water transformed, with a renewed sense of power and purpose. You are in an intense process of emergence into the next cycle of your life. Unlike more gradual shifts in awareness you have experienced, this one is happening quite rapidly and came on somewhat unexpectedly, without any pauses for contemplation or indecision. You may even think that you are unprepared for such dramatic changes in your life, yet you are prepared and can put to use the experiences and wisdom you have accumulated up to now. Life is demanding that you move into the next stage of maturity. This requires you to adjust your thinking about yourself, others, and your community. It calls for you to shed yet another layer of your ego-filled defenses and let go of any illusions of being less than who you are. This period of emergence is one of broadened consciousness and heightened perceptual capabilities. And since it is inevitable, it is best to surrender to the flow and allow yourself to gracefully move into the next cycle of your life. And I had wanted to say that, but I was thinking, I don't know if, are Cancer people really going into a new phase? Well, probably. You recently had your solar return, new moon, and that wasn't that long ago, just a few months ago. And so now, Cancer itself, because of Capricorn and Pluto and Uranus and Aries, these challenging aspects from these other cardinal points, these outer planets, is really doing a number on some of you, but you are changing like crazy, and it's good. Change is good. Okay, Cancer, so have a blessed October. Bye.